just did something I spent half my career trying to do. It walked a federal case out the door. 8 days, charges filed, charges gone, and the only thing that changed was that somebody hit record. Recording the police is legal in all 50 states. Last week, a federal courtroom in Illinois showed you exactly why you should actually do it. Let me walk you through it because it might be the most important habit you build this year. June 9th, south suburbs of Chicago, Country Club Hills. There's an undercover ATF operation going on, a gun trafficking sting. It ends with 2 men shot. One of them is 18 years old. His name is Damond Edwards. Now, a shooting is serious. A teenager who may be paralyzed is serious. So I'm going to be careful and I'm going to stick what's on the record. So here is what's on the record. 2 days later, on June 11th, an FBI special agent signs a criminal complaint, a sworn affidavit. That's the gold standard. That's the government saying, under oath, we check. And the affidavit says the officer shot Edwards after Edwards struck him repeatedly in the face and the body during a struggle. Based on that affidavit, 3 men get charged in federal court. Okay? That's the official version of reality. And for about a week, it's the only version anybody has. And then a cell phone video shows up. Somebody has been recording. And the footage, according to the prosecutors themselves, appears inconsistent with the affidavit. That's a problem. The video doesn't appear to show those punches. The defense says it shows Edwards moving away, unarmed, when he was shot. So now we've got a sworn federal document saying one thing and a phone saying another. And you think the document wins. The document's under oath. The document has a badge behind it. Guess what? The phone won, as it should, right? Watch how fast this goes. The line prosecutor, the actual attorney on the case, says the moment he saw the video, he immediately started trying to dismiss. Not amend, not let's regroup, let's go negotiate, dismiss. He told the judge the complaint needed to go, and I'm quoting, in its entirety. As a former prosecutor, let me translate that for you. You do not throw your entire case in the trash because of a minor bump. Dismiss it in its entirety is not a rough draft. That is the white flag. And I want you to sit with what was actually on the table here, because this is the part that should stop you cold. These were not traffic tickets. Fagan and Edwards were each charged with attempted robbery of a federal agent. Charged the way the feds usually charge that, under the Hobbs Act, you're looking at up to 20 years in federal prison each. Tony, the driver, was charged with forcibly assaulting a federal officer because the allegations involved the vehicle, that's a deadly weapon, up to 20 years on its own. Even the lesser version is up to 8. So between these young men, 2 of them 18 years old, you've got something on the order of half a century in federal prison exposure sitting on 1 police report. Add on a single firearm count, and those numbers climb with mandatory time stacked on top. All of that, decades of human life, was riding on whether a phone existed. And so when I say recording matters, understand what I mean. That's not a slogan, that's a sentence. So let's talk about why this works legally and what it means for you. Because this is not a one-off, this is the whole argument for recording. A camera is the only witness in the entire system that doesn't get nervous. It doesn't misremember. It doesn't fill out a report from memory 4 hours later. It doesn't pick a side, it just refuses to forget. In a swearing contest between a person's memory and a recording, the recording is the adult in the room. And here's the part people get wrong. They think recording the police is anti-police. It is not. A camera is neutral. The day an officer's account is completely true, that footage is the best friend an officer has. It backs him up. Video corroborates the honest and it contradicts the dishonest. And it does not care who's wearing the badge. So when I tell you to record, I'm not telling you to pick a fight. I'm telling you to bring an impartial witness who never cracks on cross-examination. So let's be sure to get the law right, because you should know exactly where you stand. The right to record police doing their jobs in public is protected by the First Amendment. And right here in the 7th Circuit, that's Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin, my peoples, the court settled this years ago in a case called ACLU versus Alvarez. Recording on-duty police in public is protected activity, period. And no, you do not need to get their permission. People get nervous about wiretapping and consent. Wait, isn't this a 2-party consent state? Here's the thing. when an officer is doing a public job in public. Courts have repeatedly held there's no reasonable expectation of privacy in what they're saying and doing. You're not bugging a private phone call. You're documenting a government employee on the clock with taxpayer equipment. Now, there are limits, and this is exactly where people get arrested. You cannot interfere. You cannot be in the way. You cannot make a scene unsafe. And some states have buffer laws that let an officer order you back a set distance. The key word is a lawful order, and usually they have to warn you first. Now, refusing to step back after a lawful warning is the moment a clean recording turns into an obstruction charge. Don't hand them that. Now, recording only helps if you do it in a way that keeps you out of cuffs and keeps the footage alive. So here's the playbook. Same one I always give you. 1, be in a public place, a sidewalk, a park, a lobby where you're allowed to be in. Public official, public job, you get to record. 2, keep a safe distance. And if an officer gives you a lawful order to back up, back up. Your Zoom works. Your ego does not need to be 10 feet from an arrest. You can stand back and still get everything. 3, don't narrate yourself into trouble. Don't apologize, don't argue, and don't give a speech. You want to be calm and boring. That's the goal. If you have to say anything, it's, am I being detained or am I free to leave? And 4, this one the whole case turns on. Back it up to the cloud. Auto upload, live stream, whatever you've got. Because a phone can get taken. A phone can get lost. A phone can malfunction. But footage that already left the building? Well, that's footage that walks 3 people out of federal custody. Now the words, because what you say is what gets twisted, not what you film. Keep it short, keep it boring, keep it to these lines. Keep your hands visible. Don't touch the officer. Don't touch anything at the scene. And whatever happens, do not physically resist. Your hands stay where they can be seen and your mouth stays mostly shut. If the police engage you, you ask one question. Am I being detained or am I free to leave? If you're free to leave, you leave. You're still recording. If you're being detained, you stop explaining yourself. If they tell you to back up, you say, I'm documenting from a safe distance. I'm not interfering. That's the whole speech. You're not arguing the Constitution on the curb. You're building a clean record, and you are backing up when they ask you. And if it escalates, you tell the police, I do not consent to searches. I'm going to remain silent. I want a lawyer. You do not have to hand over the passcode to your phone. You say those words and then you actually be quiet. That's the hardest part for so many of you. So many of you love to talk. And I get it, I like to talk too, but you need to stop talking when the police are involved. Save the argument for the courtroom where you can win it, not in the street where you cannot win it. Let me leave you with the honest version of this story because it's not all cynical. The system did correct itself here. A prosecutor saw the truth and acted on it. And I give that prosecutor so much credit because it's not easy looking police officers in the face, telling them, hey, I got to dismiss a case. I've done that before when I was a prosecutor. But that shows the system is working. But notice what made it work. Not good intentions, it's evidence. A recording the public could actually see. Had there been no footage, I doubt there would have been correction. The charges would have stand, and the affidavit just wins, and the shooting just gets filed away, and young men go to jail for decades. Now, that's the whole thing. Your right to record is in the Constitution. The reason to use it was on the news last week. The phone is the witness that does not blink. Now, remember, the charges were dropped without prejudice, which means the state could come back. But hey, guess what? If they can show that officer was a liar then, they can probably show he's lying about other things as well. If you got something out of this video, do me a favor and subscribe to this channel, like this video, leave me a comment. This channel exists to keep regular people from catching charges for doing normal, legal things, and recording is at the top of the list. If you believe a camera should be allowed to tell the truth in this country, share this video with someone who needs to hear it. And if you ever find yourself recording in public and an officer tells you to step back, step back. Keep rolling, say less, and back it up to the cloud. If you or someone you love is facing charges in Indiana, give me and my team a call here at the Marc Lopez Law Firm. We would love to talk to you about your options. But most importantly, remember, always plead the fifth.